What's good, y'all? It's Lance from Sports Templates here with our new basketball mockup pack for Photoshop. In today's video, I'll be taking you through this template with this Kings theme branding. Our newest mockup is out now, and if you want to follow along, the link to the Photoshop library with the colors and images will be in the description. That's also where you can find the link to purchase the template, which can also be found on sportstemplates.net. But before we get started, I want to remind y'all to drop a like and subscribe to the channel for more tutorials like this. Now, after downloading the pack, you'll receive this file, which has 10 different mockups included in it, as well as each mockup in its own file. But for today, I'll work with this file that has everything. The mockups included are this tunnel banner and the jerseys in the walkout, the sock, the Jumbotron, the compression sleeve, this column, banner, the ball in hands and the wrist sleeves, the court template, this badge, and the ball in the box. To get started, I'll add our logo to the middle and replace this in our first group called main. And we can get rid of these text layers and our logo, just selecting those and hitting delete. I'm gonna check this layer to show it, which is our rectangle color, and I'm gonna change that to our purple color. And then I'm gonna grab our Kings logo here, drag that in. Now, when you drag it in, it's always going to put it in the center of your workspace. So then from there, all we do is hold Alt or Option and Shift and just size that up. And what also I'm going to do is I'm going to use one of our patterns here. We have both purple and gold patterns. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to hold Alt or Option while I'm dragging and bring that right above our color layer. And then I'm going to hold Alt or Option again and click in between our purple pattern layer and our color layer. Now what that is going to do is just clip the pattern to the color. And then from there, what I'm going to do is hit Control or Command T to bring up our transform tool. I'm going to just bring this down the size of it. Now these pattern layers here are shape layers, which means we can go in and change the color of them pretty easily. Go back. I'm gonna stick with the purple here, but I've left them as shape layers for you if you want to change the color, if you want to customize it a bit further. But what I recommend, as they do make the file size a bit larger and they could slow down your computer as you work with them, I would recommend once you finish and you have your pattern in place, just right click on the layer itself and then rasterize the layer. What that'll do is that'll make it just a lot faster and easier to work with them, especially when it comes to resizing each layer. With that in place, I'm going to close this main tab, and then I'm just going to come down and skip to the bottom. And on our background color, I'm going to make that our gold color, just to set the scene for everything else we're about to do. So after that, we're going to come down to the next part in our list, in our layer panel. We're going to go to the tunnel banner and just open up that group. This actually comes with two separate parts to the mockup. You have the actual banner part and the player's uniform. But first, with the banner, we're going to click into that, and we have our banner design smart object. From the layer panel, you just want to double click on the layer thumbnail, and that'll open this up here. From here, we can delete both the logo and the grid. I'm going to change the color here to purple. And then just like before, we're going to do this a lot as it's going to be like our main motif. We're going to bring in our pattern. And from here, this should be already aligned as to the size of the layer. And like I said before, you can right click and rasterize it. Just make it easier to work with, but only do this after you have your colors set in place and you're happy with what you're doing. And then after that, we're going to do it again with our Kings logo and just size that up while keeping it in the center. Then to save these, you just hit Control or Command S and close this out. And now we see if I zoom into this, we have our banner up there. And while I'm staying zoomed in, I'm going to focus in on our players next. So I can close this group, open up the players, and now we have our three jersey designs, one for the left, middle, and right. So first, what we're going to do is change the shorts color. That's what this solid color layer is. Change that to purple. And then I'm going to come back to our top jersey design. That's going to be on our left. And zoom back into this. So for both the player name and the number, we're going to change our font here to one with a bit more elegance for our Kings. So we're going to use the font, which is also provided in the description with our library, called Crick. We're going to choose Crick Bold. And for both of these, you want to make sure they're centered and aligned. So you come up to the top menu here while you're on the move tool, and you see these different align tools here. We're going to click on these 3 dots and make sure that align to canvas is selected, not align to selection. And then we're just going to click this here to align everything to the center. Making sure of that. Then we're going to come here, making sure this is set to 0 to give our name and number a bit more space. Then we're going to hide the grid. We're going to change our color to purple. And I'm going to add our pattern in, well, to give a bit more detail to the jersey. Now, I already have a keyboard shortcut set up to rasterize my layer. I have it set to F2. I feel that is very convenient to me. So I'm gonna hit that. And for the future now, I'm just gonna do that so that when I'm resizing our pattern, things are just moving smoother. Next, now that we have that, is our key jersey design. I think I'm actually gonna make the name and number gold instead of white. And now for a number, for a name, any name is just a showcase. So I'm gonna choose Johnson. And then we can leave it at number 34 for this one. And so again, you wanna make sure you hit Control or Command S to save, close this out. But the only thing now is that our Johnson is on all 3 people. But for this, to give everybody their own name and number, I'm gonna come down, I'm gonna name these actually, jersey design left, middle. And then what I'm going to do is right click and I'm gonna hit new smart object via copy. We have our copy of this and we're going to delete this original one. I'll just take copy off of that so we don't need it anymore. So what this will allow us to do is now I go in, I change the name, say from Johnson to Smith, change the number to say 8. And when we close this out, when it asks us to save, say yes. And now we have the number Smith on this one. Now for this over here, we're gonna copy it again. I right click and make sure you hit new smart object via copy. It's important that you do that instead of just copying and pasting it or hitting Control or Command J. We'll make sure we hit new smart object via copy. That will allow us to keep the contents of the smart object while not affecting our middle or our left jersey designs. So I'm gonna change this to jersey design right. Double click it. And now we could do Jackson. And for this one, we could do the number 00. Save and close out. Now all 3 of our players have their different names and numbers. Next up, we have our sock. We're gonna close this out, open up the sock, which just has one part this time. Now for this part, we actually have a solid sock design, which covers both the top and bottom of the sock, or a separate top and a separate bottom design if you want. But for this one, we're just gonna keep our solid design. I'm gonna double click onto here. For this one, we're actually gonna make this gold. And I think we're gonna do gold for most of our accessories. So we're bringing our gold pattern. Make sure I'm holding Alt. Once you have yours in place, you have it with your color, you can rasterize it. Then I'm going to copy our background layer. So I'm gonna hold Alt or Option on the layer itself. I'm gonna just drag it above our gold pattern. From there, I'm gonna make it purple. And I'll bring this one up. So I'm gonna have a stripe up here. And then I'm gonna hold Alt or Option and click on the rectangle and drag it down to the bottom. And holding Alt or Option just makes a copy, because without holding it, you end up dragging the original layer. So if you want to make a copy, make sure you're holding Alt or Option and then drag it down to the bottom. So for this one, I'm actually going to click on our tab up here and I'm going to drag this out. Then I'm going to come back to the Mockup Pack. I'm going to zoom in up here. So what this does is it allows us to do is when I hit Control or Command S to save, I can see how it takes effect. And I think this is good. The only thing, I might just move the bottom stripe, hitting Control or Command T, drag it up a little more, and then saving it like that. But this allows us to both edit our sock while seeing how it affects it without needing to go back and forth. Now that we got it, we can exit this out. And then we're gonna go on to the Jumbotron. So the Jumbotron is another mockup with 2 separate parts to it. We have our screen, but we have our main design here in our side panel. So for the main design, we're actually going to have 2 logos on here, not just our main one. We're going to do our purple, bring in our pattern. I'm going to size this down a little bit, rasterize that, and then we're going to bring in both our P logo here and our Kings logo. So let's bring these in, bring that to the side, bring these up. What we're going to do is I'm going to hit T to bring up our type tool, and we're going to type VS, and it's purple now because that's the main color we've been using. We're going to change this to white, size this up. So now to get everything into place, what I'm going to do in our layers panel is I'm going to hit control, I'm going to hold control command and make sure I select all 3 layers, and we're going to make sure we align them horizontally, like so. Then I'm going to hit control command G to put them in one group and make sure they're aligned vertically. And from there, I'm just going to hit control command T to size these up. And now that we have these in our group, I'm actually going to ungroup them, but I did that so we can make sure we have everything centered. I'm going to hit control or command Shift G and ungroup them so we have everything like that. We're going to save it. We see that works for us. Then for our side panel, this one we're just going to have our Kings logo. We're going to bring in our pattern, size this down, rasterize it, make the background purple, and then drag in our Kings logo like we've been doing so far. I'm going to save this, and we have it on the side there. Let me just close this out. And this is always a good time to remind you that if you haven't yet, just make sure you're saving your document as you go. Especially with a file like this with a lot of moving parts and a lot of pieces, we're going to make sure you keep saving your file and make sure everything is good. The next accessory we have is our compression sleeves. Just one part here, and it's similar to our sock in a vertical layout. What I'm actually going to do, I'm going to bring this out so we can see it. And I'll move this back over, and I'll make this like the rest of our accessories. I'll make this gold. Bring in our pattern, and for this one, just go drag it down and hit save, and just like that. Pretty simple for this one. The column on this in the ring here is another one that's fairly simple. What we're going to do here, like we've been doing, is just the purple, add our pattern. You see our pattern is a little small, so you want to size it up, rasterize that, then bring in our Kings logo. Now for this one, we don't want to make it too big because this is where the edges of it actually start to curve around. We're going to bring this out so it's easier to see. Now, if you make it too big, or if you bring it all the way to the edges, it starts to curve around. I feel a little too much. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it down like so, and then we save it again. I think that's a little better. And I think it's just a little closer to the top than it's to the bottom. So I'm just going to bring it down like this. And then I'm going to size it from the corner and keep it in place by holding Alt and Shift. Save it again. I think that's perfect. We can close that out and close our group. On the banner, we're going to do something a little bit different. We'll open that up and we have our design. I say a little bit different, but we're still going to do our purple in our pattern. Bring that up, rasterize that, and then what I'm going to do for this one is we're actually going to use both our Kings logo and our Sports Templates logo. We'll bring this in, size it up just a little bit, put that up in the corner, then we'll bring in our Sports Templates logo, and I'm actually size this down. Make sure there's a decent amount of room between each of them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take both of these logos and put them in a group. And then inside that group, I'm going to select both of the logos. So then control or command and select both of them. Hold Alt to copy them. And we're going to bring these over. And we want to look at our smart guys, these pink lines here that tell us that there is the same amount of space between everything. It's 176 pixels. It doesn't have to be 176 pixels for you. You just want to make sure that the spacing is even. But if you're not seeing these, then you want to make sure you go on the view, show, and that your smart guys that you see that they are checked. Then again, while they're selected, I'm going to do it. Well, actually, I'm going to make sure I select all 4 of these logos. And make sure I just drag these over again. So we get our 176 pixels. We have our group. So then with that group, I'm going to hit Control-Command-J to copy it. I'm going to Control-T, bring up our transform menu. And you want to bring this down. And you want to bring it just so you have more of like a checkerboard style alternating effect. I'll bring it down just a little more like that. And we're just going to copy this all the way down. So now we can select both groups, Control-Command-J, Control-Command-T, and bring this down. And then again, just selecting all of them. Actually, I think before I do that, I am going to bring this down just a little more. Just holding the down arrow key. Then I'm gonna select all 4 groups here. I'm gonna hit this icon to distribute the spacing, making sure they're even. Now I'm gonna do it again. Bring all these down. And just to make sure they're all even, you're selecting every single one of these in this icon that the spacing is even. And now that we have that, we save it, we come back, and then we have this professional banner with this red carpet walkout. We can close that and close our group. Now for our bottom row of mockups, we have our ball and hands, another one with 2 parts to it. For the ball, what we're going to do is, actually I'm going to keep that logo for right now. And I'm not going to add our pattern, but I am going to make this purple. I'm going to bring in our Kings logo, bring it up, and then we're going to not select one of these squares here, but we're just going to move our mouse a little outside of it till we get this curved icon. We're going to hold shift, click and drag, and move that horizontally. Then just bring that up a little bit. We can get rid of this logo. Now this one, we might want to bring this out just to see how it looks here. And then we're gonna come back in and save that. So I'm actually gonna bring this down some. Bring it up a little bit. Just place it there. I think I will size it up some. Just a bit more. There we go. And I can close that out. Let's free up our wristbands. So we just need to unselect one. They're both the same. We just need to select one, as it'll work for both of them. So for this one, you're gonna go and make this gold like we will for the rest of our accessories. You bring in our pattern and then just size it down. And now for this one, we can actually rotate this as a horizontal part. And then we can close this out, make sure we're saving. Now we have that. So the next one is our court template, which shows the center circle on our basketball court. Now for the center circle, what we want to do is come into our design, and then we're gonna get rid of our grid, but we're gonna change our background to purple. We're gonna bring in our Kings logo here and just size this up. And now for this one, we're gonna bring this out like before, just to see the sizing. We're zooming back here, and we're gonna save this, see how this comes out. I think we can actually just do this a little bit bigger. Here, to size it up some more. I kind of want to get it closer to those edges. We're gonna keep it like that. Then we can close this out. Over to our badge. For this one, oh, selecting the wrong thing. For this one, we're gonna do this a little different. We're gonna bring in our purple and our pattern. I'll bring this down. Bring in our logo. For this one, we're gonna actually drag it from the top, bring it closer to the top, just a little bit towards the bottom. We're gonna hit T on our keyboard again to bring in our type. I'm type VIP on this one. Make that white. We're gonna hit V on our keyboard to bring up our move tool. I'm gonna center this one with our align tools at the top. I'm gonna drag this one up. And then just like this. Now we have this towards the edge. So what we're going to do is actually select both our VIP and our Kings logo And we're just gonna drag this a little bit so it's not so close to the edge. Save that. And we see like that. So now the finger isn't covering our logo. It's not clipping this part at the top. You can clearly see it. We're sure to close this one out and close out our group. Now, last but not least, we have our ball in our box here. I'm going to zoom in on this. And this one is another one, multiple parts. We actually have 3 parts. We have our box, we have our front panel and our side panel, then we have the ball itself. So for the panel here, we're actually just going to do it like we've been doing our accessories. We're going to make this gold, bring in our pattern, and rotate this one. Bring that down, rasterize it, save it. And just do the same thing for our side panel. Gold, pattern, rotate, the sizing, rasterize, and save. Now we have our box. I'm actually going to change the solid color of the box too. Make that gold. You can see up here is still blue a little bit. We're going to make that gold. Then our ball itself is going to be similar to this one over here. We're going to make that one purple. We'll close the box group, open the ball, and then I'm going to bring in our logo in the center, like so. I'm gonna just make it solid purple. I'm not putting a pattern on the ball. We'll bring it out just to make sure we can see how it looks. It's just a little small, so I'm gonna bring it down some. See? And then for this one, I think I'm just gonna hit the arrow key just a few times, bring it up a little bit more. Make sure you keep it centered. There we go. And just like that, you can have a full basketball mock-up pack from everything inside the arena to outside the arena, jerseys, courts, and more. But I do want to say one more time, if you enjoyed this, you can pick up this template for yourself in the link in the description or on sportstemplates.net. And if you enjoyed this tutorial, be sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel and get notified whenever we release a new template. Thank you.